Hey guys, it's me. I am back for another video. Uh, I told you guys that I was doing comic revisions, and I think we still have some footage left to get through for more talkie videos. But this video is different, kind of. It's this. I redrew the first scene of Nine Lives because I hate the first one. It's disgusting. But I talked about I thought that it was necessary to redraw these because I hated him. Anyway, here are the original sketches of the page. I just took the original storyboards, because still have all of them, and I put them into my program, and I just redrew the pages. One of the things that I wanted to really try and do differently this time is that when they're all in the circle, I had drawn all of that separately and then placed it into each frame, like itself. All of them were like that, even the ones where it didn't make sense for it to be. For this one, I did add, you saw that I just, I copied a couple of them, but for the most part, I wanted to draw all of them myself, and I still need to draw a lot of it because some parts of it weren't included. I did an improved angle for this shot because I thought that it would look better, and really tried to emphasize it better because I felt like the first scene, while it is shocking, doesn't really like show the actual aggression of being murdered in that shot. It's just kind of like, oh no, I have been stabbed. I also wanted to make sure that all of the characters were pretty consistent, and plus, I actually redesigned Prince's parents, so I needed to change their designs here as well, slightly. I basically just shifted their skin and hair tones differently, so that I believe it's that his mother has a darker skin tone, his dad has a lighter skin tone, and then his mother has a lot darker hair. They both have dark hair. I don't remember whose is darker. You'll see. I guess. You'll also see a little glimpse into my process here, and that is to say, I don't have one. I go from the sketch straight. I wanted to have all of their designs consistent because in the first one they weren't very consistent at all. And another thing that I want to change is that the kids are all murdered in the same way. In the original one, they have stabs. They have all little stab marks. But I wanted to make it so that there was a gun involved. So some of them have gunshots in them now. Um, and those were the first to be murdered as she ran out of bullets. That is the new lore. She ran out of bullets, and now she has a knife. I also wanted to do these side shots justice because the original ones, it was very inconsistent throughout it, and she didn't really look like a person. I had somebody tell me that she looked like a My Little Pony character, which is valid. It definitely looks like that. So I tried to shift it. My style has changed a lot since the original first chapter, first scene, so I changed a lot, and I tried to do her justice, redo her a lot better. And I also did the backgrounds a little bit differently. I did most of them off screen since they're like pretty basic. I didn't want to add a bunch of like grass because I felt like it would be like too much detail out of the way, but I did add a bunch of stars, and I added the trees in the beginning are better than they were in the original one, um, because they just look really bad in the original. I also played around with angles a lot more. I had done this upward angle of his mother, and I'm proud that I did that when I was younger, but it looks terrible. So I redid it, and it looks a lot better now. And then I did a bunch of angles with the knife. I'm proud of them. And the actual stab of this one is a bit different. Also, if you don't know what this is, you should go down in the description and check out Nine Lives, my webcomic. It's on my own website, and this is the first scene of it. You get a little sneak peek. She murders herself and all of her children. I promise it's not just a bunch of murder. Um, I went through and like added a bunch of colors. Now I'm starting the coloring process. I started out with the colors that I knew would be different, and then I went in with the new skin tones. I used different blacks for both of their hairs, and I tried to mix and match the skin tones and hair between all the kids, except for Chris, since he already has an established skin tone and hair color. But since all of the kids are mixed race, because I believe I have decided that the father is Indian and German, and the mother is Thai. And so that is where their um looked influences come from. Indian and Thai. I don't remember which one is which. Anyway, again, I'm just trying to fill in all the colors. I used a lot of variations of different types of whites, yellow and bluish whites, depending on the character. Um, just tried to make this a lot better than the original one was. I believe I used solid whites for the whites of the eyes in the original scene, and I hate that now. Also, I'm pretty sure the original scene is done in solid black, which is a crime. That is a crime. Also, the original scene was done in one day, and it's 7 pages. 7 pages in one day. Do you see what's wrong with that? Because I do. Anyway, I completed this in, I believe it was about 5 hours, four on recording, but then I did do all of the sketching and the text and the backgrounds off camera, so I'm gonna count that as another hour. So we're gonna do about 5 hours for this entire thing, stretched over about 5 days. So I did roughly an hour a day, although I didn't do an hour a day. Roughly an hour a day. There you go. I really like the way that I did the last page of the original scene. Mostly because I copied things. I also did that here because I wanted to. Also, I realized at the last minute that in this scene, my boy has long sleeves and not short sleeves, and that I needed to change that. Anyway, I had the idea a while back to have Crispy associated with these blue flowers, and so I drew him with coffin in his coffin surrounded by a bunch of these blue flowers. And in the original page, he had been placed on this purple cushion, and I took the color from that cushion to make these flowers. So instead, I decided to take those flowers instead, and now he's laying on a bed of those flowers in his coffin. So I changed that because I felt like it, and because I thought that it was cute, and because I wanted to push that motif a bit. It I really love the idea of those flowers being really important, and I want to bring them into the rest of the series, and maybe you'll see that in the finale of season 1 when I get there. Season 1 is 114 scenes long, I think, around there. It might be 116. It might be 113. I don't remember. I have the script. I can pull it up right now, but I'm not going to. But I am at 58, so I'm hoping to finish it at about by next summer. Hopefully to finish Nine Life season 1 by the end of next summer, so that I'm not working on the first season for my entire life. By the way, Nine Lives is 6 seasons long, and I'm only halfway through one. So, um, we're here for the long haul, baby. But yeah, the finale of season 1 is gonna pull in those flowers, and I wanted to put them in earlier in the story, outside of just official art. So I decided to put them in the first chapter of Redraw, and I'm probably gonna put them in some other chapters later on, other scenes later on down the line, as I work through season 1. Just as like little details, motifs in the backgrounds. Now I'm just adding blood. This is really fun. I used the same brush that I did last time for the blood, and all the same. I don't think I used all the same colors. for the blood, I basically just put it on the multiply layer, messed around with the levels, and now I'm shading it all because I shade all my comic now. I did shade the original one. I did shade the original one, I think. Anyway, I was actually pretty proud of the shading. Um, but I'm not actually done with the shading because after that, I add a whole layer of blue because it's supposed to be a nighttime scene, so I want to really accentuate the darkness. And there's not really any light sources here, so I just laid a black, not black, like a darkish blue over all of them, and the shading for the characters is in purple, so it like contrasts a bit. That's one of the reasons why I use purple instead of like a blue for shading, because I want to use the blue for shading when it comes to like nighttime overlays. Um, and then I also use gold for light overlays sometimes. To do the thing. Also because yellow skin tones work really well with purple shading. That's why. Really why. I really like that drop in the book one. I really like the way that I redid it. I think that a couple of the pages could still be better, but I tried to focus on motion and stuff like that. Also Chris's baby. Anyway, like I said before, check out my comic and see all of these pages completely finished because I'm not going to show you the finished product. You have to go there to see the finished product. 'Cause I'm stingy. You can also see all of the scenes up to now, up to I think it's 56 is what's public right now, or maybe 55. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye.